Yo, what's up? Southern Fried Chicken Strips, and welcome to another episode of Bangers and Mosh. Today, I am chuffed to bits to be joined by the disgustingly talented Mr. Jordan Olds.
Oh my God.
Dude, thanks for
Incredible.
hanging with
I
us
love
today,
it.
man.
Happy to be here. Love the food intro.
Can you tell I've been
I-
watching a lot of Guarsenio's high school CDs reviews in the build up to this?
Yeah. Oh my God. I really ran out of food at the end there. I was like, I don't know. What else do I eat?
That was literally what I had for dinner, so I was like, oh, well, that'll do.
Oh, incredible. From where?
Oh, they're just like a supermarket frozen one that you bang in the air
Oh, okay.
fryer and
Are you near are you a Nando's person?
oh, love Nando's, man. Love a Nando's.
Yeah. I was hoping you were gonna say that. I don't eat meat anymore, but there's a few meat things that I miss, and like Nando's is one of them. I also miss um the gobbler from Wawa. And I feel like for most people, if they miss a meat thing, it's like I miss a steak or whatever. But it was never that for me. It's Nando. It's meat where it's like sauce delivery system, you know?
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
you. Yeah, man. So dude, Die Close dropped today, Pure Noise
Yes.
Records. What was the overwhelming feeling this morning when you woke up? Was it like relief, excitement, nerves, bit of all of them?
I feel like it's everything. It's felt pretty crazy. We did a little release show last night with Gozu and Somnuri, who are just I was like, if we're gonna do a release show, we gotta do it with sludge bands
Yeah.
from the East Coast because there's not a lot of us. And I consider Blood Vulture to be in the sludge variety. And I feel like Gozu and Somnuri have been holding it down for decades. So I was happy to, I was honored to play with them. And so I don't know, like it's been a lot of, I feel like post and social engagement paralysis. Like I'm just like, I don't know what to promote. Like, do I promote the show, the video? It's a whirlwind, but it's so awesome to have it out there finally.
Yeah,
I'd
man.
say.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was going to ask you, dude, like about the show last night. What's it like going up on stage as Jordan rather than Guarsenio now, without the makeup and the alter ego? And
I feel like it's been a growth process because I think like we've played three shows as Blood Vulture now, and I feel like each time I'm figuring out exactly uh like how I'm supposed to present. I feel like the first time I we did a show and I was trying to I was trying to be very serious
yeah,
when performing. And I like in that performance I was like I feel like I was like I got to do something that I got to not be Garsenio or be like or ham it up at all. And I just realized that's just not my instinct. That's just not how I perform.
yeah,
So I feel like slowly I'm letting out uh, uh the elements that are me without going full like internet clown man at the
yeah,
same time.
yeah. It's finding a balancing act, isn't it, between the two, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of figuring out where I think I've just learned like I don't have to be Gorsenio, and I also don't have to be this foreboding like gothic vampire person on stage. Like I can kind of be both at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's definitely like a slight tongue in cheek. element to the record as well. So, if that comes across live, then that's not being disingenuous or anything. So,
Totally. Yeah, there is camp in the
yeah,
record for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Um, I feel like the hardest thing to figure out on stage is like what the is like an outfit, because everything, like I feel like everything I've brought on stage, like I wore a sweater the first time to kind of, I was like, I'll do like a Alice in Chains unplugged thing. I'll wear like a sweater, and I was dying. The first, within the first songs, I was like,
Sweating.
sweater's gone. I'm out. And then the next time I was like, oh, okay, I'll do this. Like, I got this, like, um, just like high fashion short sleeve button down that I thought looked really nice and really cool. But then when I saw like footage back from from the crowd, I was like, that looks like any but other, but like without, you can't really see the details of it from this floor. So I was like, I kind of just look, I'm kind of giving California Pizza Kitchen Cheesecake Factory, and that's not like, it's not bad to give those things, but that's not what I was really going for. So I'm learning what kind of works,
Yeah,
because I don't have a costume yet. I know what I like the looks that I've prepared for like the photo shoots, but you can't bring that shit on stage. You'll die.
yeah,
Go, I
absolutely.
can't
Yeah.
wear an officer's coat on stage.
No.
I wore one for the Die Close video that we put out today. And I was doing like an homage to uh uh Kiefer Sutherland in Lost Boys, because he wears like a biker jacket underneath an officer's coat in that
Yes.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And it looks awesome. I feel like people forget the detail that there is a biker jacket lapel underneath, uh, like just sprouting out from the jacket, and it looks fucking awesome and adds this really cool texture. But while filming it, like we filmed that whole video in my house, and my portion was like in my attic, and I was absolutely suffering.
Oh man.
Like
Yeah,
the
and
heat was crazy. Like it looks awesome, but it like man, figuring out figuring out like stage gear. I'm like, I see why like everybody is either in cut like sleeveless shirts, or they're wearing, or it's like the denim jacket, the Levi's
yeah,
denim jacket. Like those are the two options.
yeah.
Because any bigger jacket, like you're gonna suck. You're gonna die.
Trial by error, man, isn't it?
Yeah,
I,
totally.
I look at Colin when he's up on stage with twitching tongues, and I think, fuck, man, you must be like 100,000 degrees underneath that.
That's why he wear. It's why the jacket is sleeveless, and it gets ditched by like song two,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever. You know,
yeah,
like he, it's an entrance. It's entrance wear.
yeah. That might be
Yeah,
the route to go down.
I might do that. That might be the move.
Yeah, man. So, John, did you feel like you've probably been asked loads over the years, like, oh, dude, when are you going to start a band? When are you going to, when are you going to go off and release your own music? Did you feel like this was the right time to start Blood Vulture?
I think it happened to be the right time. Um, like now putting it out, but I didn't, I think I had to get pushed into doing it.
Okay.
Like how I feel, I think like in in my life with original music, I feel like I've had the curse where I start a band, we play 3 shows, we record an EP, and in the middle of recording the EP, we break up. Like I think that's happened 6 times, and
Oh,
the last
man.
time that that happened is I was starting a band. We were recording the EP. We broke up. Like while or we broke up kind of while recording the EP, and at the same time, also the pandemic hit. Like that's right where it all kind of hit, and when that happened, I was like, I really feel like this is the universe telling me I'm not supposed to make original music. I was like, I was like, we can't take care of, we can't even finish the album. So, or the EP. Um, so I think after I like in the pandemic, I tried to take the scraps of the unfinished EP with my old band and put it together, and it just wasn't working. I it wasn't like you can tell that I felt like you could tell that it was like a bunch of unfinished recordings. It
Yeah.
was and not in a cool way. It didn't come together. So I after that I wasn't really planning on doing music, but I was uh doing some 2 minute stuff on a lingua ignota tour. Um and our mutual friend KW from Vile Creature uh was with us, and we were at a cheesecake factory in Boise, Idaho, and he just kind of was pretty blunt with me, and he's like, "Where's your band? Where is it?" And I gave him the same spiel that I just gave you. I was like, "This is why I feel like there's a curse between me starting bands and recording EPs." And he was like, "Well, then don't start a band and write an album instead." And I was like, he was like, "Just do it all yourself and then worry about how to have the band afterwards.
Yeah.
Like figure that out later, but get the music out there because he was like you're it's a waste for you not to do that." And I don't know if it is not a waste, but I did take I took that ass kicking. Um and I and that's the inception point of Blood Vulture, or the decision to make an album. I had no idea that this is what it was going to be when
It's
I went
really,
into it.
that's so cool, man. So sometimes you just need someone to spell something out in plain letters for you, doesn't it? And you go, oh, hold on a minute.
Well, I'm like shy. I have a lot of it. I feel like we all have imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It felt really. I never saw myself as a front person or the main singer of a band. I always kind of, even with 2 minutes, I was originally not supposed to be the host. I wasn't supposed to be Gorsenio. It was originally supposed to be Dave Hill, the comedian, who's
Mm.
incredible. If you don't know
Yeah.
Dave Hill,
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
super funny. And he had to leave. He had to leave for. He was like, He's like, I got offered a gig. I have to interview Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro for The Intern, and we were like, that's actual money. You have to do that. So, but we had the shoot set up for the pilot episode of 2 minutes, and I just knew the line, so I just did it to get it done, so that we had something to show the network that we made the original pilot for. But like because of that, like I just didn't view myself in a role like this,
Yeah.
and I don't, I yeah. So I really needed someone to be like, just do it. Who gives a shit? Just do it.
Absolutely, man. And it's funny you mentioned the pandemic sort of bringing an end to your previous band because I feel like the 2 minutes to late night stuff you did over the pandemic, you know, a lot of those videos blew up on YouTube.
Yeah,
Um, and so now coming out of the back of that, that stuff probably gives you a bit of a platform now to launch Blood Vulture with you know, a lot more people knowing who you are,
right.
and your talent as a musician. So now to go, Blood Vulture, Jordan Olds, he's involved in that. I know him from those videos that I saw during the pandemic. So it probably gives you a platform now to launch it in a better place, I think.
I think it's a double-edged sword a little bit because I think there are people that want that might want that from me. I think there are also people who don't. I think there's probably people who are like, shut up and cover Metallica with with more famous people, and I think that there is that. I also think that it's like, it's music, like, I think musical comedy has like I love comedy music. And I know that there are people that do not.
Yeah.
Like I grew up loving like Weird Al, one of the first albums I ever bought, Running with Scissors. Um I so I have a lot of respect I genuinely have respect for it, even though it's like silly and stupid. But I think that there are people who see that as a hard line. And so me stepping over that line to write something sincere, I feel like there is a reaction of like, what the fuck? Oh, the clowns thinks he can like write a sad song or whatever.
Mm.
I think that there's probably some of that. I also think that there is people who want like I think the fans of there are probably also fans who want me to if they wanted me to write original music, it maybe wasn't this either. I think that every person that I've shown initially, when they hear what it sounds like, their reaction is, "Oh, what?"
Oh, wow.
Like I think it's sometimes in a good way, but I think that maybe people didn't expect it to be slow and emotional. If anything, I think a lot of people expected a, a faster, more metal band from me in a
Okay.
way.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I think time will be the teller, won't it, in this instance? And just, I mean, if you are one of them people, I'll just say listen to the fucking record and let the songs speak for themselves, because I cannot see how anyone will not find something in this record to be excited about.
I mean, you know, I I couldn't be prouder of the record, and I don't know. I can't say I don't think you can really. I think like whether people are like it or not, like I'm. This is exact. This is what I was. I made the right record
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
I put. I think everything I like about music is in it. I think, or like every type of thing that I'm interested in writing is on the record in some fashion. Um, and I feel like that's true to the way that I would approach making covers for 2 minutes and stuff. And it's also just true to the ethos uh of the artists that have inspired me. Like people like like a Steve Brodsky or a John Baisley. Like John Baisley specifically from Baroness, like you listen to Baroness and you are just like you're listening to everything that guy likes about music. Like everything he likes about songs is in one song,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and it's crazy. And I love that aspect to it. So I think I think that this is um I think that this is the best representation of the way that I can that or just yeah, it's everything I like about music, and it's also I was self-conscious at the beginning being like this is my first record and I'm 36 years old. But I think maybe I think that maybe there's like kind of a blessing in that because I got a lot of time. Maybe it's a good thing that I have time and experience and to make this first thing. Um
Absolutely. Yep.
uh and I probably appreciate I think I would have been more like psyched when I was younger, but I think that I appreciate it more at the age that I'm at right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Metallica's first album wouldn't have sounded like Kill 'Em All had they made it at 36. So it's like
No.
that's you've had years of experience of this is what I like, this is what I don't like in music, and you've grown as a musician and a songwriter over those years to get to the point where right now these are all my years of experience in the game and in the business.
Yeah,
This is what I've got to. Um,
totally,
so
totally, man.
yeah, you mentioned I know in the build up to the album being released, dude, Alice in Chains, Typo Negative, Crowbar, Soundgarden, amongst others. How
Yes.
tricky is it getting the influences that you want to tip your hat to into your songs without it sounding sort of disjointed and oh well, there's the Alice in Chains bit, there's the Typo bit. It's a very cohesive sounding record. Was that a challenge?
I think, um, weirdly, no.
Oh,
I
okay.
think the hardest part of it was initial, I think, because the initial idea came from me, um, asking the question, why do like why do bands that are inspired by Alice in Chains, like all of them, like who try to do an Alice in Chains thing, why do they all suck?
It's
And
so
it's
true,
not.
man. It's so
I
true.
don't. It really, and I think it's because they're missing. They're missing the actual magic of the band, and I think it's similar to why like a lot of Danzig inspired stuff isn't very good. I don't, yeah, I shouldn't say suck. It's just not, I don't think that I think you miss it. I think a lot of bands that are trying to do Alice in Chains, they miss the magic.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Danzig. Like what Alice in Chains are doing is not like, I think people just take the rock from it. Like we got to write some like good rock riffs
Yeah.
and like, and we'll do like like a raspy voiced chorus or hook or whatever. And it's like you can do that, but that's not what they are doing, and it's not the matchup. Like Alice in Chains is putting melodies over what they thought were like the heaviest versions of Black
Yes.
Sabbath
Yep.
riffs
Yep. Yep. Yep.
at the time. They don't think they're a rock band.
No.
They think that they think they're a doom band.
Yeah.
They think they're a really heavy band. Uh, and so I was like, my initial inception was like, oh, can you do, can you take that same principle of like how they write harmony and melody, these dissonant, close harmonies, would that work over like 90s Morbid Angel riffs? Because I feel like that's the next step in making something heavy. Because I knew that I didn't want to, and then that was kind of the experiment. Was like, can I do that? And then I started writing uh Embrace in the Flood. That's the first thing I wrote for the album.
Oh wow.
And it's also kind of, I think, why it's the first real song on the record is because I think it's a nice setup to be like, here's sonically every single thing that you're going to hear on
Yeah.
the record. You're going to hear uh like rock hooks, you're going to hear a lot of belting, you're going to hear crazy harmonies, you're going to hear death metal riffs, you're going to hear sludge parts, you're going to hear some blast beats, there's going to be some nasty little breakdowns. And there's going to be there's going to be three-part guitar harmonies going down. And I think once I put that song together, it just kind of opened the space for, I was like, oh, I can take elements. Now since this song has like everything that I'm gonna do, I can write songs in the same connective like I can take one piece of that song and expand it, and it doesn't feel like it doesn't fit in the album because we I have this reference piece
Yeah.
that did work. So like, because there's the the big Alice in Chainsy rock chorus of Embracing the Flood, like it doesn't feel unfitting to do just a big like a big Soundgarden inspired grunge song like Die Close. or it does because of the breakdown, it doesn't feel out of place to just do a full-on barrage of chromatic nonsense like Gray Morning.
Absolutely. Yeah, dude, it flows beautifully, and like and Embracing the Flood is my favorite song on the record.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I
I think it's an incredible piece of songwriting, man. And honestly, when
thank you.
that death metal blast beat section comes in the middle, it's like, why has no one ever done this before? Like, these things, these things fit so seamlessly well together. Like, thank you for doing it. Finally, someone's done it,
Whoa!
because it's like I love all of the influences that you've spoken about on the build up to this record. So just having someone who's done it so skillfully and written the songs and I think that's the thing. If you've written, I think that's what you were saying about the Alice in Chains bit. People and Danzig, people can you can write something that sounds like something,
Right,
but people forget about the song. Like, if there
right.
has to be a song in there, and this album is chock full of them.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I feel like well, you got to find what the magic of like what they're actually like. What is there's contrast
Mm,
to it. Like I think that like the magic of like a Danzig, like the sauce of Danzig is like Sam Hain. Everything that makes him special is just kind of laid bare in Sam Hain. And like
yeah,
the musicianship is fucking awful. And like it's out of tune, but it's like you see when all of that like gets tightened up for Danzig solo, and they bring it like Rick gives him John Christ, and then Chuck Biscuits comes in. Like they can tighten it up and they can add this rock element, but there's just like they're not just it's not just like tight rocking. Like there's the sinister sauce, the it factor
yeah.
that makes it transcend. And I think that Alice in Chains has that also, and it's like that's what like it's their evilness and their darkness that really makes it all stand out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that and the self-titled are two of the most abrasive, heaviest records that have ever been made, essentially. And
Totally.
I feel like this album has an atmosphere about it that sets the best albums apart from, a normal run of the mill albums. There's a foreboding atmosphere about this album that you can't quite touch it. It's a little bit intangible, and you don't know quite what's causing it. But I can't wait to dive. I've done it. I've listened 3 times.
Thank you, man.
I can't wait to dive into this more and more. And because songs breathe, don't they, over time, and they grow on you, and they become a part of you. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see where I get with this album over the next few months and stuff.
Damn, dude. Thank you.
No worries,
Thank you. That
man.
means a lot, man.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, do like, in terms of like your songwriting craft, do you feel like, having done so many diverse covers with 2 Minutes to Late Night, and sort of studying so many different diverse songwriters, has that given you a deeper appreciation and a knowledge of how to write a song?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I feel like I, the songs where where I would take I feel like the Bjork cover, or like taking a song and doing it in the style like the Chelsea Wolf Crazy Train.
Yeah,
You really get to see it really helps me see what's special about certain songs and figuring out how to keep that specialness, and then figure out what's special about the style that I'm bringing it into,
yeah.
and trying to figure out how to balance that and not lose those elements. And I think that absolutely like all that time focusing on other people's material, like learning other people's stuff, and transforming it in some way absolutely made me I think it made me a songwriter. I don't know if I ever
Wow.
was. I don't know if I was before then, but I think that it birthed my ability to actually write it helped me figure out exactly how I do something. Um, it helped me figure out my style, and I think that that is invaluable. I think that there are artists who learn from learning like traits from other people, and then there are artists who like similar like Spencer from like Full of Hell, who just I don't think has ever learned anyone else's song ever, and is just going off
Yeah.
and creating something truly and new and unique. He's like, I think that that kind of thing is so beautiful. I think that, and there's validity in both types of things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. However you get it, man. I mean, because there's a big difference between being a great musician and being a great songwriter. It's, one can't
Yes,
necessarily do the other. So it's,
there are. I feel like everyone I know is a better musician than me, but and like I don't. I can write. I don't know if I'm a great songwriter, but I can. I now know that I can write the way that I can write.
yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess.
You found your
Um,
style, man. That's the,
right. Which
yeah.
yeah, I'm grateful for that, and I do think that I absolutely attribute all 86 or whatever 2 minutes late night covers to that. I mean, we covered like every song I had ever even thought about covering and more. It was nuts.
Oh yeah, man. Like there was like dance covers and all sorts. It's a great back catalogue to dive into. Like I work from home, so I have a lot of music on all the time. So I just had a lot of your videos rolling all day in preparation to this, man. It's just so good.
Thank
Um,
you, man.
so
Yeah.
did you self-produce the album, Jordan?
Yeah, I recorded most of it at home to save kind of cost,
Yeah.
and to like figure it out. So the album is all kind of recorded at home. We then Nick Caggio, the old bassist for Mutoid Man, and my dear friend, and former 2 Minutes co-host when we were doing the talk show, um, had access to this church in upstate New York
Oh, cool.
where where we recorded the drums. So we recorded them in this giant church with so many mic with like every mic that he had. And it sounds so awesome.
Oh yeah.
And then I just took all that and like back to my house and I re-recorded all the guitars and synth and stuff over it. And then I just because I eventually just had someone reamp it. Uh, in it was uh Phil. I so sorry, Phil. I don't know how to say your last name. It's a lot. I think his last name is Pluska, Phil Pluska, in California. Um, because I knew that I wanted for the guitar tone I wanted. Um, I wanted a an Uber show, which is a Bogner, and it's what Jerry Cantrell used on this. He is on his solo records. He's has this crazy tone
Yeah.
that Andy Williams from Every Time I Die pointed out to me. He was like, he runs an Uberschall into a pitch to a lightly pitch shifted plexi, which is a Marshall, and he's like, it's like pitch shifted a full octave, but only at like 10%. So there's like this crazy extra low end out of only like one of the amps. And then I really listened to this solo Jerry Cantrell stuff, and I was like, this tone is insane. And I really wanted to recreate that. And I had a really hard time tracking down like an Uber show on the East Coast. It didn't seem like anyone that I knew had one, had that and a Dietzel, but Phil did. So I just recorded the guitars in my bedroom, and then he just pushed all that shit through those amps, and it sounds awesome. Like it
Oh,
sounds awesome,
it really
and
does.
yeah, I'm thrilled with it. I know that there's like I know that like uh I don't know, maybe that's not the that's not the sexiest way to do uh a record, to not fully go into a studio, but I think it sounds pretty awesome.
It does,
So I don't
man.
know.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely. To my ears, man, it's a great sounding record. Because I wanted to ask you about your frames of reference for tones and stuff, but I mean, Jerry Cantrell, if you're gonna be inspired by a guitar player, then Jerry is probably the man that you want to. Jerry's probably the man that you want to do that.
He's so simple, but he has such personality
Oh yeah, yeah,
when he
he,
plays. Like there's just like uh, the album specifically that I'm referencing on like tonally is Degradation Trip Volume 1 and 2.
yeah, it's a great record.
Um, it's a great record.
Yeah.
I think the guitars sound so dark. I don't think that my guitars sound exactly like that or anything, but what because I'm also not I played everything on the 90s Ibanez Universe, which is like the first it's like the first seven string ever made, I guess.
Oh,
And
the Steve Vai kind of looking one.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's so um I a lot of the the sound of the record came out of me playing a seven string guitar for the first time.
oh wow.
And I got um we did a on 2 minutes we did a charity raffle to help Taylor Young raise raise a few bucks to rebuild the pit.
Yes, yeah, I remember
Um
that.
and Schecter are really like the team at Schecter are really wonderful, and my dear friend Kyle Kinane is the voice of Schecter now. And they gave us a guitar to give away for Taylor, and they were like, if there's anything you want to try, let us know. And I was like, do you guys have a baritone? I've always wanted to play a baritone. And they were like, no, but we can send you a seven string. And they did. And I was like, I've made fun of these my entire life. Made fun of seven strings, but I've never played one, so maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And it got there, and like the the active pickups weren't really for me, and the slanted frets, which a lot of seven strings have like slanted frets
Yeah,
and battery powered pickups, and that's
yeah.
not really my thing. But realizing I'm like, oh yeah, I assumed that these are like gent guitars and all this stuff, but it's like if you don't play that on them, they're awesome. Like if you just play like crowbar riffs on it, they sound awesome.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you have all of your high notes. Like if I if I didn't have the seven string, I wouldn't have been able to. I'm sorry. Are you hearing this crazy like street noise? Is this
Nah,
distracting
man.
at all? You're
Nah,
not
nah.
hearing it?
Got no back.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I am now. I just am really. There's a Someone is getting towed right now, and I can't believe it. Mid episode, breaking in the episode.
Breaking
This
news.
motherfucker's in trouble. But yeah, I was playing. Yeah, I was playing the seven string, uh, and realizing like, because I had dropped to G for years playing with Steve Brodsky and all these folks, and you kind of lose a lot of your high notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think if I didn't have a seven string, like a lot of the guitar harmonies that are on the record wouldn't be possible. Like it would be impossible to replicate them live
Yeah.
without it.
Yeah.
So realizing that it's just like this thing is a tool. Like it's a tool, and that it's not a genre within itself was valuable for me. And then I started doing seven string research, and it was like, okay, well, I'm referencing Morbid Angel, and I was like, they are using seven strings on my favorite records, like Covenant and Domination are
Yeah.
both like seven string records, and Domination specifically is my favorite Morbid Angel record, and it's got Eric Rutan, the secret goat of death metal.
Oh,
I'm gonna go inside because this I'm now getting distracted. I'm so sorry.
that's right, man.
Yeah. Um, I'll pause. If you want to keep this in, you go for it.
Yeah,
I'll
this is the
pause.
magic, isn't it? People love the
This is the
magic of
magic.
live
Yeah.
interviewing. Yeah.
Right. Here we go. But I'll pause. I won't. I'll save my piece about Rutan uh for a little bit. Okay. So yeah, doing research. I'm inside now.
Hey.
I'm inside. I feel bad for that guy who's getting towed. I don't know why my camera is zooming. This is insane. I just got a new laptop. It's wild.
That's nice.
Tech is
It's
crazy.
like we're in a film.
Yeah. But okay. So I was doing research and realizing that, yeah, Cannibal Corpse and Morbid Angel both were like had seven string guitars on a ton of my favorite albums of theirs, and um kind of this I settled on the Ibanez universe, number one because it's one of the only seven strings that looks like a motherfucking guitar.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so hard to find a seven string guitar that doesn't look like it's not shaped like a mini golf course or some shit. Like it's so like it just I'm like it's just it looks like a Stratocaster.
Yeah.
It just looks like a regular guitar. Um, and the sound is I know is awesome because it's used by it was Rutan's guitar for so long. He used it for like Morbid for his tenure in Morbid Angel, and I think like also Trey had an Ibanez universe as well.
Yeah.
And Rutan, I feel like, is this secret sauceman that maybe needs more credit because he was in like Hate Eternal Rocks, um, and he's in Cannibal Corpse now. He's in the Two Goats.
He
He's in more of
is
a,
he is the
yeah.
goat, man. He is the goat. Like
He's
you,
awesome.
his every album he produces sounds like $1 million. Like he's just the fucking best, man.
I
It
love his production. Yeah.
Yeah, and every Cannibal Corpse album he's been on since he's joined the band has just gotten more technical and more weird and more like,
He's brought something back out of them that
yeah,
I
yeah.
think like they're always good. They never fuck up, but they are just
Oh
like
no,
they're really, really cooking right now, and it's so awesome.
yeah, man.
And so I was like, I will try if it's good enough for Rutan, it's good enough for me. And it like I think the I think that combined with like the Jerry Cantrell amps, I'm taking the two key elements that inspired the record.
Yeah,
It's like the guitar of Morbid Angel into the amps of of Alice in Chains, and like that's what the actual tone is.
It's
Just
beautiful.
like
Yeah, and there's some really
the
soulful
literal
lead.
combination.
There's some really soulful lead playing on there as well, which the tones are exquisite on the lead work on the record as well. So like,
Thank you, man.
yeah,
Shout out to Phil, man. He killed it.
yeah, absolutely. Is it it's Mo from Shai Hulud on drums as well, isn't it? On the record.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
it's Mo Watson, who is an unbelievable player. Um, the second longest tenured member of Shai Hulud, which is
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah,
Um, and he's so good. We met via 2 minutes, and I just saw him posting videos of jamming, and we live reasonably close to each other, and I knew that like Shai Hulud is not like full time, so I asked him if he wanted to jam, and he's just fucking unbelievable, man.
yeah. He's real good,
He's
man.
he's really good. I remember I showed a friend Embracing the Flood, um, the blast beat section, and I remember like when the actual blast
Yeah,
beat comes in, he was like, "This insane fill to the blast beat thing, you got to take that out of the because he's like a real drummer's not going to be able to play that. Like you're asking for trouble to trying to get someone who can replicate that." And I was like, I didn't program these drums. Like that's a man, a human man doing that. And he was like, "Oh, okay, well then no notes."
yeah. Leave that in there. It's fine.
uh, and like I feel like that is a perfect uh like I don't know. Like he can do everything, but he also has swag uh to his play. Like he hits at the last possible minute, and it feels incredible.
Yeah, it's a great drum performance, man, and it's not something from an outsider. If you know Shai Hulud death metal drumming, you might not tie those together. So it's a testimony to the skill of the man that he was able to come in and do that.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
so, dude, I wanted to ask you just quickly about the main character, of the album, the Master. Is that a loose concept? Did you always plan to have sort of a loose concept, or was that just the way it panned out as you were writing the lyrics?
So I I didn't intend for this to be a vampire band when it started or when I started writing riffs and stuff. And then but I was reading um I just moved out of the city and I'm like in upstate New York, upstate-ish and like I was walking around and just like seeing all of this old. I'm just surrounded by 1800s architecture. Like it's
Yeah,
Art Deco in the city, but it's like the 1800s out here. And I just inspired me to read Dracula for the first time. I was like, I should be reading classics. I've never really done it. And like I think that there's like people argue about like the quality of the book of Dracula, but like every single sentence of the book of Dracula is incredible. Like it's the I'm every sentence I'm like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever read in my life. So I think that that language just kind of naturally made its way into like one of the first bunch of lyrics. And then I just as I read it, I was just start writing down terms and stuff that
yeah,
really inspired me. Um also at the same time I was watching the entire Wong Kar-wai like filmography because I got the Criterion box set. If you don't know his movies, they're fucking amazing. I think he like we don't um he makes every single thing he makes is completely different, but it's so impressive and artistic. Like there's this movie called Fallen Angels that is like I feel like the style that the children for a while were calling like Y2 cunt, like the Matrix and Blade and whatever, like
Yeah.
that look is that movie.
Oh, okay.
Like that, I think that people don't realize that that was yeah. My hypothesis is that it's that everyone is taking the look, the green, the camera moves from that. But some of the most vampiric the lines that sound the most on the nose, vampiric, are actually like lightly reworked dialogue from Wong Kar-wai movies,
That's
I
so
think.
cool. That's so cool, man.
They're awesome. Um,
I'm gonna check them out.
yeah, man, you'll have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. So did that then? Did you have a cover artist in mind first, or did when the album started taking that lyrical direction, did then you start looking at artists and things? So it's Marald van Hasten, isn't it? Who's done
Yeah,
Necrot and Cavell Attack and Ghost and bits and pieces.
he's truly one of my favorite artists. Like
Yeah,
I met him at uh the Baroness Golden Gray art show. And it was my first time like really seeing his work. And I thought about it. I had been think I had always wanted to. I didn't know what I was going to ask him to make, but I knew I wanted him
him. Yeah.
to do it. Um, and I think like, I just kind of I knew like a little bit of how I wanted it to be laid out. Like it's um I really love the movie Possession.
Oh, cool.
So I knew that like I have this crazy copy of Possession.
Yeah.
And I was like I kind of want to play with that and the layout for like Bram Stoker's Dracula
Yep.
as well, like the movie. And for the actual design, I was like, you can just do honestly just don't I have no real notes. Like I think like I originally was like he was like, can I get some he was originally like, can I get some direction? I was like, maybe like a castle. And then when we were working on that, I was like, I don't know. I was like, how about just don't listen to me and just literally make whatever the fuck you want. And
Yeah.
he was like, all right. And
Suits
then
me.
I set him loose, and he came back with like the snake with the rose coming out of its mouth and the art design. And I was like, wow, perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah. It's an incredible
It is.
piece of work, man. Have you roasted your own album cover yet?
I like I mean it does look like the Ghost of Christmas Past from Muppet Christmas Carol getting attacked by snakes and skulls.
I had Edward Scissorhands has gone to a carpentry school.
Yeah. 1000%. I
Yeah,
did yeah, looking at it I was like I look like I have Father Christmas as a bird
it
in a
is
nest.
it is absolutely beautiful, man. Like it's such a I feel like it's such a perfect package you've created here. Music, themes, artwork, everything. It's honestly like I said to you quickly off air, man. It's blown me away this record. And I
It means a
honestly,
lot, man.
yeah, absolutely in love with it, dude. Um,
Thank you.
so to finish up, man, I wanted to ask you because you've spoken about grunge a fair bit in the build up to this record. What are your Mount Rushmore grunge albums?
Oh God. Uh Number one is Louder Than Love or I mean, maybe these are not number one or whatever, but I think it's got to be Louder Than Love by Soundgarden.
Oh wow,
Um, that that is my favorite Soundgarden record.
that's
I
not the
feel like
one
they're
people normally go for, man. That's
no, dude,
really cool left field pick.
there's magic on that. Like it's so I heard Louder Than Love and I was like, this is what I never fully got Led Zeppelin, and then I heard Louder Than Love and I'm like, this is what everyone else is getting from
Yeah,
Led Zeppelin.
yeah,
It's in this.
yeah.
And Chris's voice is so high and crazy. He's losing his mind. I just there's such magic and groove. I love getting lost in these dudes that are in the music of dudes who are just rocking and trying new things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they don't really know what they're doing in a beautiful way. Um, I'd say Sap from Alice in Chains.
Oh, cool.
I think that I really really like when I want to listen to Alice in Chains. Like I I usually throw that on and it's like an EP. But there's just I think there's such magic. Like it's got the first single that is like Jerry on lead vocals.
Yeah.
Um, Got Me Wrong is one of my favorite Alice in
That's a
Chains
brilliant
songs. I
tune.
think
Yeah.
Am I in like am I inside? I've Easter egg this, but like Am I Inside is my favorite Alice in Chains song, and
Oh,
there
cool. It's
may or
fun.
may not
It's funny
of
you mentioned Jerry again because vocally, Jerry is the person I heard most in your. I was when I saw Alice in Chains in the build up to the record, I was thinking, oh, maybe there'll be. I don't really hear too much Lane. I hear more the Jerry William uh, dynamic in your vocals, which
oh
is
wow.
yeah.
Well, I tried to not do I like I've I do I like one of my karaoke songs growing up was doing like Man in the Box, and I would do a Lane impression. And there's early demos where I am doing more of a Lane impression, but I was like, that's not my voice.
Yeah.
That's me
Nobody's
doing
got that dude's
like
voice, man.
Lane. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do an impression of somebody.
No, absolutely not.
So I'm just gonna try to I was trying to be very conscious about like trying to keep it sounding like my voice or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of parts on the album also that are inspired by like there's like some Mike Patton shit, like the for nothing shit
Yeah.
on Embracing the Flood. Like that's really that's Angel Dust, Mike Patton, and I was like, I have to figure out a way to do this without feeling like I'm doing an actual impression of Mike. And so finding that balance was crazy.
Yeah.
I also like more more grunge. Hole, does that count? Do Hole count
Oh,
as
absolutely.
grunge?
Live through this.
Live Through This,
What
dude,
a
is
record.
it's a fuck it is a masterpiece.
It is. It
I
is.
I'm also like Courtney like old men hate Courtney Love so much, but she's a part so so many iconic pieces, and she's a great artist in her own right. Like Hole is fucking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, she's also
Yeah.
the original lead singer of Faith No More. Did you
Yeah.
know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Crazy.
She's every she's a part of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hole, Live Through This.
Jennifer's Body would be a desert island disco track for me off that record.
Yeah,
Incredible.
dude, straight up. And then lastly, I think I'm trying to decide which Smashing Pumpkins record to pick.
Oh, yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know which one I would have, but
I mean, it's Siamese. It just
yeah,
is.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it
It
is.
is. I love Melancholy. I love
Yeah.
it so much, and it's iconic. But like, if I'm what inspires me more, what I take more from it is from Siamese. But I love Smashing Pumpkins. I'm not a huge Nirvana guy.
Oh,
I
wow. Okay.
respect. I like Nirvana,
Yeah,
but I've never really fully loved them. And I think it's
that's
also
fair.
crazy that these everything I named is considered the same genre because every single thing is almost completely different. It's
Wildly
insane.
different. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It just describe. I think it just is grunge describes a time period,
It
not a
does.
sound.
It absolutely does. Yeah, yeah. Pearl Jam sound nothing like Tad. You know, it's like a whole
Crazy.
completely. Yeah, it is. It is. But what a brilliant time period for music we had.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Jordan, thanks so much, man, for joining us today. It's been a absolute pleasure getting to chat about this incredible record with you, man.
Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate that that it has resonated with you in this way.
Yeah,
The fact that anybody feels this way about the record means just it means so much. Thank you, man. Thank
no,
you for the kind words. Thank you for your time.
my pleasure, man. Yeah, Die Close is out right now. Make sure you check it out. Pick up a copy. I put the link to the Bandcamp in the episode description. So support Jordan and the band. We'll be back very soon. Until then, party on, dudes.